Hey friends, so let's talk about the Gifted and Talented program being a recruitment tool for the CIA. This is such a fun one because I was in Gifted and Talented and I saw so many strange things. And I've talked to people since then and heard from other people that are like retired and end of career like intelligence people that are starting to put all the pieces together. So let's chat about this and you can let me know if you were in this program or if you've ever heard any of this stuff because it's wild. But anyways, if you don't know, like the GATE program, they used to call it way back in the day, was Gifted and Talented Education, right? GATE. And what they would do is they would select kids, usually in elementary school or middle school, that were special, right? Like, didn't mean they get good grades and stuff. They just were creative or something like that. They were looking for specific things, right? So I remember I was selected. I didn't even get good grades and stuff. And I was put in this room with some person and I did all these IQ tests and those Rorschach blob test things and all these crazy things, asking all these peculiar questions and everything. And I got accepted in this program, right? I was in one school and it was called like Peak, and then I was transferred to another school and they had me go through all these tests again at the other school and it was called like ACE or something. But anyways, like once or twice a week or something, every school is a little bit different. You get picked out of your class, right? And you go to another classroom that's special for these kids, right? And usually the windows are like blocked out and stuff. And you do all these experiments and tests and stuff like that. Like one of the things we used to do routinely was go into the gym and go into this huge inflated bubble thing. I'm not kidding you. I was in elementary school and there was only like 10 of us out of the whole school. We'd go into this bubble and this like lady who didn't even work at the school would come in, sit in this little stool inside this big inflated bubble, right? And like do these weird meditations and stuff with us, right? And like my mind never stopped even as a kid, especially as a kid. And I would never go into meditation. So all the other kids would be like zonked out. And like I was just listening to this lady. She's always talking about floating and rainbows and now you're up in the sky and all this crazy stuff. It was wild, right? So I still remember all this. Anyways, where this goes like off the rails is that a bunch of people have come out and said that you start putting things together like later in life. So say, you know, you're in school, you get selected into Gifted and Talented, and then you get selected into like a nice college, and then you get like offered some job and it's a government job and you're like, yay, this is great. And then you work for the government, right? Some agency, right? Some alphabet agency. And then all these peculiar things happen. It seems synchronistic. It's like, oh, I just got this promotion. Oh, I just got this assignment. Da, da, da. It's like life is so easy. And then later in life, you get older and you start to like analyze your life and you look back and you're like, you're like, it's kind of weird. Like I was in this Gifted and Talented thing and then it led to this. I got in this college and then I met this guy. It was really weird how I met this guy at this one event and then he offered me this and it was really weird how I met this person. And then you start to think your life was kind of orchestrated. Like you were like almost like led through like these events, right? And not like in a serendipitous type way, but more in a like orchestrated way. So these people started putting two and two together and like so many of them started off in Gifted and Talented and then seems like they were almost like groomed to be in these agencies, right? So what I couldn't kind of figure is that if any of this is true, right? It's probably complete bullshit. This is only for entertainment purposes. None of this stuff actually happened. But hypothetically, if they're looking for a particular type of person, maybe kids that have like psi abilities, maybe kids that have some sort of telepathy or some sort of code breaking abilities or something like that, right? And they're like groomed and they're placed in these job placement things in the government, right? From an early age. But then other kids that maybe don't take orders well, or maybe are a little rebellious, are exiled out. And not only are they not accepted in these programs, their lives are actually made pretty hellish, like mine was for a very long time. And maybe it's a way where they're like, basically they're looking for, like they go through the whole school, maybe there's 1,000 kids in school and they select 10. Out of that 10, maybe only 2, maybe only 1, maybe 0 get selected into the advanced program, and the rest of them are just sort of, you know, whatever, right? But it's interesting because like when I look back on my experience in Peak and ACE and GATE, all these Gifted and Talented programs, they were fucking weird. They just were. There's no way around it. They were weird. School's already weird, but these programs were like extra weird. Like you're going into this weird room with these kids that you don't even really know, you're not even in classes with a teacher who doesn't even work at the freaking school, doing weird things that you're not even graded on. You don't get like a grade or anything. It's just for the experience. And they're like monitoring you the whole time and like watching and stuff. They're grading, but not like ABC grade, like on a report card. They're grading for some other reason. So this was my experience with GATE, and this was a long time ago, so maybe it's changed. But a lot of people have come out and been like, my life has been extremely weird from the get-go, and the get-go was these gifted and talented programs, and then it is weirder and weirder and weirder as they find out they've been sort of hand-picked and groomed and led along through these different government agencies, you know, almost like that's their job placement program, you know, is you're being placed into these agencies to go do weird work. Like, you ever think, where do they get these people to go in these kind of dark agencies and do this kind of weird work? You know what I mean? Like the stuff they can't talk about. Where do they get these people, right? I think they get them from these programs. Again, I'm just a crazy guy in the woods. Like, I'm making all this up. It's all entertainment purposes. None of this stuff actually happened, but it is interesting. Let me know, has anything in your life ever happened that kind of fits any of these bills? Or have you ever heard of anything like this? Let me know in the comments below. Have a beautiful day. Peace.